This is the book of Revelations, chapter 19, and verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not, I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren, that have the testimony of Yahushai. Worship God, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to the one true power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Quadash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahushai is who the world inly calls Jesus Christ. The Rakah Quadash is the Holy Spirit in the Paleo-Hebrew. And I want to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well through the Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word, Lord willing that they continue to endure and be sincere. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching His word and believing His word in the same Spirit, that you endure and be sincere. And shalom to the Akwath Yom that are believers of the faith and His truth, Lord willing that they continue to pursue their lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. I'm going to jump into Revelations, the 17th chapter, and we're going to talk about verse 1 through 5, because something I was just telling myself, believing in Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, you must know your adversaries. Believing in Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, you must entertain prophecies. You must be active in prophecies. Whether it's hearing it, studying it, or teaching it, even for yourselves to grow up in faith, because we can get distracted in this place and lose sight, and it can be for the reason of we don't know, a lot of us don't know, and a lot of people might say, hey, look, I know the Bible going to that, but nobody really knows the truth. The Lord set the prophets back on the earth. And if anybody is saying nobody knows the truth, nobody can really break down and understand the scriptures, then you truly don't believe in the Lord. But what it is that you haven't been taught. And we must be taught again. So I'm going to get that precept too before we start in Revelations, the 17th chapter. Okay, this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 5, verse 12. For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat, right? And if that ability of teaching is in you, you should be taught first, right? You should be taught again, And if that's saying, that just shows that the Lord is going to lead you through the men of the Lord. That's going to guide you into the basics, the sincere milk, the parables, the dark sayings, the prophecies, right? And we need to constantly dabble in these, right? So now let's just get into Revelations, the 17th chapter, because I have a few pictures because I know Israel, they like imagery. Jake love imagery, so I'm going to show certain pictures when we read these scriptures, right? So pay attention and remember the woman, which is the example of America. Remember that cup. Remember the pictures that I'm going to show you, because then we're going to look at it, and Lord willing, we can be edified, So let's start. This is Revelations, the 17th chapter, in verse 1. It says, There came one of the seven angels, which had the seven veils, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Right? Now, I'm only dealing with verse 1 all the way to 5. Right? So, again, going into verse 1, where it said that, and there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 veils, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Right? And that great whore is this lady right here. Right? Depicted as America, because when John the Revelator was seeing this vision, he was seeing it the way that is described in the scriptures, but even more, because you go from different chapters, then that whore become is called a great city. Because in different images, especially Revelations 13, he's seeing somebody get the charagma, right? In chapter 18, he's seeing Babylon fall, Babylon's iniquity, Babylon's destruction. But then we go to 17, it's the woman in the scarlet beast. Then the mystery of the woman and the beast, right? But it's all leading to the understanding of the whore, the 7 heads, and the 10 horns, right? Which represents the NATO and EU, right? And the 7 heads is the 7 governments or 7 kingdoms of the Edomite foundation, right? So, where it says about the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, that's the great whore, right? Many waters, right, is going into Salaki family. The many waters is going into people, right? And I'm gonna get a precept for you guys, just so we can see that. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 13. It says, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thy end is come in the measure of thy covetousness. Right? So now we hearing that many waters. But what is the many waters? Revelation 17 and 15, which is the point to it. It says, And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes, nations, and tongues. So what you see on his shirt is nations, is people of different languages or tongues, right? This is what this great whore is sitting on, right? With the 7 heads and the 10 horns. This whole foundation is sitting upon people, right? Let me give you something else, right? And we already read it, just going even more into the whore. When you drop down to 4 and 5, Revelation 17, 4 and 5, it says, And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication, right? But it's the philosophy, the things that they push. Now, these are some examples: the media, the government, the LGBT community, right? This filth, fornication, right? Even though you have spiritual fornication that they put, that this whore push on the Heavenly Father's people. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great. Babylon means confusion, the mother of harlots, the mother of whores, and abominations of the earth. Right? In this picture, she has it written in Hebrew. I believe it's modern Hebrew, but you have to know that even in the time of John the Revelator, they were speaking in Paleo Hebrew, ancient Hebrew, right? But that just proved even more Hebrew, which is on her forehead. But even in right here, they have it in English. I had other pictures too, but I just chose these two. It says, dropping down to verse 15 again, it says, He saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Those is the nukes. Because in Revelation, the 18th chapter, you even have in multiple chapters in Isaiah, which the Lord created these nukes, but these nukes, the nations are going to use to destroy Babylon, man. It said the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, right? The 10 horns that you saw upon this beast, right? It said, which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, right? And that 10 go into Salaki. The 10 go into the NATO and EU, right? I can't read all of them because they're kind of blurry, but you have Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, the Greece, Spain, Portugal, I believe, England, Ireland, and West Germany, right? The 7 heads, just bringing that forth, is the Greeks, Germany Major, Germany Minor, Rome, the French, and the British, right? Right? So the nation is going to make them naked. How? By destroying the people in the land. You know, they're going to be stripped from their power, right? They're going to be stripped from their power. Let me see if I can get a side preset, if I may. Let's go to Salaki. Let's go to Jeremiah. Trying to make this smooth and quick. Let's go to Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, and let's read verse 41. Let me read 7 first. This is Jeremiah. Is it this one? Yeah, Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, right? That you see she's holding right there, which just goes into the, like wine goes into philosophy. Look, shoving down LGBT community, media, right? It says, therefore, the nations are mad, right? And this is why she's going to be stripped naked, right? Because she have made the nations mad. They're angry, right? Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 41. I'll start at 40. It says, as God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities thereof, saith the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, so shall no man abide there. neither shall any son of man dwell therein. This is not ancient Babylon, because it didn't get destroyed by fire. It got overtaken by another empire, the Persian and Medes, which goes into the second beast. So it's saying that nobody's going to be able to dwell there. You can go all the way to where ancient Babylon was at, Mesopotamia. It's people keeping shop over there. This is talking about modern Babylon, Babylon the Great. This is the mystery about it, because it would be hidden in plain sight. But it's for the true believers, and the true believers, starting with the men of the Lord, are going to teach this on a high level. You got men that have been bringing this out way before me when I was in tighty whities, So verse 41, it says, behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth, and they shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy, right? Their voice shall roar like the sea. They shall ride upon horses, every one put in array like a man to a battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon, right? And that's not literal people riding on horses, right? It said, what did that verse say? It says it's not going to show mercy. When you go back to Revelations 17:16, on the bottom of the verse, it says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Those are those wasters in Isaiah, the 54th chapter. And let's get it, since I brought it up. This is something that you want to talk about. You want to think on, like, how I'm going to get out of here. Yes, people want to use Revelations, the 18th chapter, verse 4, come out of her. But we have to come out of her spiritually and mentally, so that we can prove that that we want to do the requirements of Yahweh Shema Shai, so he can send his son Hamashiach Yahweh Shai and save us. Talking about the black Latinos and natives / Hispanics, from out of this wicked place, and deliver us 4 corners of the earth, right? Isaiah 54:16, it says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. That waster is these nukes, right? These nukes that's going to have multiple warheads on it. And it's going to make this Babylon whore slut bucket desolate, naked, naked. And guess what? I did a lesson the other day on Rome Sports, right? And they're doing the same thing again in this society, and they're distracting you with other problems that's going on, because ain't nothing new under the sun. America is having the same fall as what happened with Rome, a money crisis, right? Even the elites is making moves, man, because they're knowing and they're seeing signs. Because I just brought this out in the lesson. I'm going to come back to that. Let's just bring this out, man, because they're afraid of us growing in this truth, man. This is Revelation chapter 11, starting at verse 8. It says their dead bodies, right, which is the children of Israel that's in this whore, right? It says their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom in Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. This is speaking of America, man, right? Because this is spiritually Sodom, because you see they shoving the LGBTQ in this elderly mouth, man, not sparing them in Egypt, which is example of bondage. Exodus 20:2. Egypt means bondage. Bondage means captivity. And this is this great city. It's a whore, which John seen, but then even in different chapters of Revelations, which is pointing to America, it is a great city. Babylon was a place. Great Babylon is a place, right? Verse 9, it says, they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies, right? This is really talking about the estate that we're in. It was a falling away, and they was just using us. It's like using, no offense, it's like using a whore and taking full advantage of them, you know? And the children of Israel were dead from the neck up. So the nations was able to see us, and we look dead without the wisdom of the Lord. Wisdom of Solomon 9:6. Wisdom of Solomon 9:6. We are regarded as nothing. So if all you got is for God so loved the world, you are still in a dead estate, right? It says 3 days and a half, which is 350 years, which is talking about America in the time of that physical slavery, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in the grave. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, which is other gifts, but those gifts is making trade of these Israelites, right? When you look at Deuteronomy 28 and 68, you were sold as bondmen and bondwomen. We are the gifts. You had a dumb strong nigga this really happened, where he had 1,000 children, because he was pregnant a lot of slave women, right? Just to bring forth more dumb men. And they would try to link you up with, I forgot what kind of a hard-working woman, and get a brute, dumb dude, because they don't want you to be smart. Even the Rothschilds. John Rockefeller, I think it was John Rockefeller or John Rothschild, he said he don't want a nation of thinkers. He want a nation of workers. You see? So we are those gifts. It says, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell upon the earth. Talking about the southern and northern kingdom. We tormented them. Why is that? Because we were serving the one true power. Let me get a side precept, and I'm going to go back to Revelations 11. Right? This is getting me edified. This is Judith chapter 5. And if you want to, you could read 17 down to 21. But I want to stick to these points. This is verse 20. It says, now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. Before I continue, we fell away from the Lord. If we were in a Rome captivity, we grew, we started running Europe and different places, and then we fell again and get into captivity again, is because we started to sin against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? And that was our ruin. And they overpowered us, and they devoured us, They used us and abused us, right? We had no power. We had no strength. And it was all because of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? Verse 21, it says, but if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them and their God before them, and we become a reproach before all the world, right? We tormented them because we was actually serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But we fell low, that dead estate. That's why they're using and abusing us, man. But right now, knowledge is increasing right now, and they're getting afraid. Let's keep reading Revelations 11, right? We finished verse 10. We're going to read verse 11. It says, and after 3 days and a half, 350 years, the spirit of life from God entered into them, right? Because knowledge start to increase, Well, what is it? 2 Corinthians 4 and 16, the inward man is renewed day by day. That's how, the spirit of life dwelled in us. That's that breath of life which the Lord gave Adam, and it's this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Some brothers have a higher a higher level of this understanding, right? Some of us come in this thing as babes, getting the milk, and then we grow into eating the lamb and the heavy load of the meal, and then eventually the Lord might call you to be the prophet, right? To bring forth these things for other sheep, you know? So the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them, right? So these wicked nations, right, when you go to Revelations 12 and 12, which is the next chapter, they have a short time, and they're always watching their possession, which is first out of all these other nations. The top possession of the elites is the children of Israel, because all nations, even in ancient time, knew who they were and they knew who we were. Don't get it twisted because you walk around and you might not know, and these small Edomites, these small Caucasians, small heads, don't know nothing. But the higher elites that's really controlling your money value, your jobs, pushing new laws, new media, it's easier to be a celebrity. Just look a fool, make a YouTube page saying 20 verse 1. You can get paid just for being a content creator and don't even do nothing. You could do OnlyFans. They're trying to keep you like Putin. You know, not the Putin that Bill Cosby was giving you, like having your brain like damn near soup, right? So they're moving at a sufficient rate, but they know who you is. Psalms 83 is still in effect. They make sure they remove the remembrance of who you was. And it was all by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You think the Lord removed all the nations, starting with the elite, from knowing who you is? Hell no. How we gonna grow and know who we is in all captivities? Even Harlot knew about Yahweh. He knew about a Messiah coming. Why was he killing the young infants, man? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, right? Because he was hearing that this Savior was going to come, and he was going to be a ruler and a king over all nations, man. Let me see. Is this the one I want? Yeah, this is Revelation chapter 12, verse 4, because it goes into Harod, but it goes into Rome. It says, "In his tail drew," I'll start at 3 so you can notice it's dealing with Esau. It says, "There appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon." It's not talking about a literal dragon, but yes, he's seen a red dragon. But when you go back into precepts, who as a nation was considered red as a nation? Esau, you know? And a dragon represents the old serpent from the beginning through the spirit, right? Which beguiled and lied to Eve. And that same serpent went into Cain, right? But then in the flesh, Esau became a nation, right? But, you know, again, behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns. This goes back to Daniel, the 7th chapter. Only one captivity had the 7 heads and the 10 horns. That was the Roman captivity, you know, leaving out of the Greek captivity because those was Edomites too, you know. So when people say it was the Arabs, show me the Arabs as Rome, because wherever back when you go to Daniel, that 4th beast was Rome, you know. All other nations, which we read in Revelation 17, is under this system. Even if they got power in some case, everybody is in the hand of who the Lord have given the world to, right? The son of the wicked, which is Esau, and having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads, right? That is this right here, you know. Even in the last picture right here, but you don't see it as well, is this one, man. Right? 7 crowns represents Germany Major, Germany Minor, Rome, French, Spanish, and Britain, and the Greeks. Right? This is all that all stems from Esau, man. Right? And he's bringing forth his philosophy and his doctrine, right? So verse what is it? Verse 4, it says, "And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven." What is the third part? It's talking about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Because when you go into the New Testament, majority, that is the southern kingdom, right? It says, and who did Harod kill when he that tail? What do a dragon or alligator do with a tail? It hits something. It can kill something with its tail, and that's just going with Harod had armies and men going to houses and killing, right? Even when you go watch what is the movie? The young Messiah, even though they miss certain things and the image of him is some white kid, you had Romans going to certain places because of Rod, and he was saying kill this boy, you know. So they went to kill Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, the sons, not the daughters, just like the same what happened in Egypt. It says, "And did cast them to the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born." Talking about Yahushai. "And she brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God and to his throne." Now, if that's in that time, right before and during the time of Yahushai, they was hearing of this. How much more for this time, man? What we read in Revelation 7. You don't think that these rulers don't know? We're bugging, right? So that right there was confirmation of showing even back then the rulers knew who the children of Israel was. You go into Greek captivity, they knew who the children of Israel was. Nebuchadnezzar knew who the children was. Cyprus knew who the children of Israel was. The Egyptians knew. The Assyrians knew who the children of Israel was. So just because we're in the new modern age, nothing faded, just a lot. The Lord made a lot of us have a strong delusion, and we don't know. I'm doing this video so that we can know, right? So now that we got that, we seen the waters in Revelations, the 17th chapter, right? I'm going to get another verse dealing with the whore in Revelations 17:1. Revelations 19:2, "For true and righteous are his judgments. For he have judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and have avenged the blood of his servants at her hand." This is why, even when we went to Revelation the 11th chapter, they're afraid, right? Because we're standing on our feet now, and the higher elites know that this is going to be their end. This is why we see a lot of, if you paying attention, this is why a lot of things is going on. In Rome, what was the fall of Rome? Money. Worthless money, tax, inflation, right? What's going on with America? It's in the whole world, they're talking about money, man. This great whore is falling, man. She was a slut bucket to all the nations round about, right? So the Lord is going to show judgment upon this whore, right? So now, back to Revelation chapter 17, reading verse 2, it says, "With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication." They was drunk, the dollar, that Caesar Borgia, right? Because it was pushed four corners of the earth, When you go, Revelations 13. I'll start at 1. It says, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns." This is going back into Rome again, This is going back into Rome. It says, "And upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as a feet of a bear, in his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority, right? It says, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, right? One of the heads is going into Rome. That was the one deadly, that was the as it were wounded to death. That was Rome. His deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. So it was healed, right? And then eventually that damn beast, right, that damn head became the whore, right, which is America, man, right? This is Rome 2.0, right? And America represents or is symbolic to all the other big empires like Assyria, right, Babylon, Nineveh, even with the Greek, with the Hellenization, Rome, Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah, right? All of it, you know. To keep going, it says, and all the world wonder after the beast, and they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, right? A beast can go into a kingdom, or a power, right? It says they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? Right? This was going into Rome. Rome is that beast, right? Rome is that beast. The dragon is the Edomites. We just seen it in Revelations 12. You probably didn't see it, right? But you have to understand, Esau is the end of the earth. Let me get that verse first. I'm gonna read this in the GNT because I've been reading Second Esdras, trying to double on it, because you gotta tap into prophecies, or you gotta meditate on it. You could definitely read this in the KJV. It's just something that I want to read to you guys. This is Second Esdras. First, I'm gonna read it in the KJV so that it can be plain, and then I'll read it in the GNT. Right, because it's something that Yahweh Shema Shai say. Second Esdras chapter 6, in verse 9 and 10, it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. The hand of man is betwixt the heel in the hand. Other question Ezra asked, thou not. Right, so Esau is the end of the world. Right, when you go further, or like in the beginning of the chapter, Ezra is asking when is going to be the end. So this is how even the prophets of old knew the world wasn't even end, like the establishment of Jacob's rulership and never falling, because it was told to us before in the law, in the prophets. But we failed, so them children was looking for that kingdom that would never end, right? But Esau's the end of the world, right? The enemy of our forefather Jacob, So I'm going to read that in the NLT, verse 9 and 10. It says, Esau represents the end of this age. This age. Right now, dying in the flesh, he is he represents the end of this age, right? Being mortal, right? Talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. And Jacob represents the beginning of the new age, starting with his immortality, never dying, right? Being under the kingship of Hamashiach Yahushai in a full new covenant effect, kingship, right? That's what the kingdom represents, kingship under Hamashiach Yahushai. Verse 10, which is a beautiful point, it says, so if Jacob's hand is the beginning and Esau's heel is the end, do not try to find a space in between. Who's in between that? The other nations, right? Don't try to find anything in between that, right? Because even before Esau came into play, because, that stems all the way from Isaac. You remember all the other nations that was in Genesis, the 10th chapter? Esau wasn't there yet, But the people where the chosen Israelites was gonna descend from, they was there. Even though Esau is a Hebrew, but he wasn't on the earth just yet. The chosen seed was there. When you look through Adam, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Noah, right? So on and so on. The chosen bloodline, the sons of God, was on the earth. Esau wasn't there, as a nation yet, or as a people. You see? So anything between that, what he said, so if Jacob's hand is the beginning and Esau's heel is the end, do not try to find a space in between. That goes for any, what about these nations? Everybody always worried about Esau, but then they don't never speak about the other nations. Everybody want them to have a part in our kingdom, our rulership, our immortality, but y'all never mention the other nations. The other nations are going to go back into their rightful position, which is a servant. So back to Lord willing, y'all got that, man. Lord willing, y'all got that. So back to Revelation chapter 17, but read verse 2 again. It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. This goes into that order. Revelation chapter 17, verse 13, it says, these have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Right? Who's going to have one mind? Right? Let's look. We're going to go back up to verse 12. It says, the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. You see? That's talking about the NATO and EU. Salaki, NATO and EU. And eventually they're going to turn, because the NATO and EU are the big allies of this horde, man. You see? Reading 13 again, it says, these have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. That's what they're doing right now. They're giving their power as allies. Their thought process. What they doing with World Economic. World Health Organization. Right? What's the other one? It's another one. It's World Economic. It's World Economic Forum. World Health Organization. It's another one. I forgot the other one. But that's the NATO and EU, man. It's this list right here. I can't really let you see it. It's kind of blurry, right? Now, drop it down to 17. It says, should I read 16? I'll read 16. It says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Right? Them 10 horns is the NATO and EU. They're going to hate the beast. These shall hate the whore. It shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Right? Because they're going to turn on this place, and they're going to help the other nations that's against, with Russia, right? All these other nations that they're going to help to destroy America, man. Right now, all you niggas in America is holding on to a thread. A lot of people is not really paying attention to understanding if the NATO and EU, which Donald Trump said if he get in office, he wants to separate NATO from America. We don't need allies. If that's going to fulfill so much if he do that, Oh, man, verse 17, which is the point. For God have put in their hearts, which is in their mind, to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of God shall be fulfilled. See, this is why we keep teaching this, because the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai must be fulfilled. Let me get a side precept, man, because a lot of this is dealing with Yahweh Shai, because in order for him to come, this has to happen. This joint getting me excited, man. getting me excited. Like I feel like I'm learning this all over again. This is Luke chapter 24 in verse 44. It's the title, it says the scriptures fulfilled. It says, he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses and in the prophets and in the Psalms concerning me. Right? Because Yahushua is that stone that that was carved without hands. Right? That's Daniel, the 2nd chapter. Right? This is why when this beast fall, it all goes into the coming of Yahushua. Let me just get that in Daniel 2. You know, let me not be stingy, man. This is Daniel chapter 2. Let me see. Okay, this is Daniel chapter 2. And I think I'm going to go straight to the point, verse 45. It says, for as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, in that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, and the great God have made known to the king that shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof is sure. This is sure. This is surely to happen, man. You know? So soon as this fall, it's a done deal. Done data, baby. That's why we should be amped. This is why you want to crave hearing prophecies, man. This is what we want to hear. This is what we want to know. Oh, man. Oh, I just seen this video the other day where this lady is amped up about digital currency and said, man, we need to start talking about this because we need to come together so our country can be better. No, we need this to get destroyed. Niggas is too comfortable here. This is how you know a lot of us lost the faith and the angle and the belief of the Lord. The Lord never planned on this place surviving. He didn't plan on for this kingdom, this rulership to be forever and ever. He didn't plan on it. Because things have to be fulfilled. Show me in the scriptures that America is supposed to fulfill a longevity, a kingdom that never falls. Show me somebody in the comment section that might watch this, man. So I'm going to try to move because I don't want this to be too long. You know, I know Israel got a short attention span right now. There's some other precepts we could go to. Let me just get this one because you seen that the nations was mad in verse 17, right? And these nations was going to fulfill Yahweh Shem Yahweh's will, right? Was by pushing that button. This Revelations 14:8, it says, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. That's why she fallen. The nations is about to have it up to here with America, man. Right? So I'm going to read through these verses and then we're going to close. It's Revelation chapter 17, verse 3. It says, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman, wait, hold on. Verse 4, Salaki. It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, right, which we see right here. This is like a more anime picture, right? because you don't see her with the gold on, right? But you see the golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication, right? That immorality, right? The things that they push, right? And we see it right here. Philosophy, democracy, religion, idolatry, homosexuality, lies, adultery, covetousness, and murder. You know, that's all in that cup. You know, all in that cup, man. All in that cup. All in that cup. Right? All in that cup. I like, look, because this let me motivate myself. You know, this is not my rest. That's Micah 2:10. I want to see this. I want to hear this, man. And I've been hearing these breakdowns constantly for the past few weeks, and I want to hear it again. You know, to be able to believe in it more, to be able to speak on it more, to be able to have some of these precepts in my head, because I want to know where I'm at. I want to know who my adversaries is. I want to know who is this whore. And since I know who she is, I want to stand on business, because it's going to be a time where your faith is going to be tested. Is you going to choose to be with this whore and die with her, right? Which that's the cause and effect. Or you're going to be against it and get this light affliction, this suffering, right? The persecution of your family, your friends, and the people of this world. Yeah, we get a little taste on this side, but you haven't fully got the full volume of it yet, you know? Verse 5, it says, upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth, right? The mystery is, you know, when you go to Matthew 13:11, the mystery is the people that's running it, or the nation that's running it. Ecclesiastes 4:16 ain't no done away with the people before that time and this time. Those nations is here, you know? So the mystery is, who is running this place? Esau. Because if America falls, and that's the end of all rulership on this side, that means the Edomites is ruling it. And I'm telling you, Esau is ruling it, right? Because this is part of the last fourth beast. America is a part of the fourth beast. When you go to Daniel, the 7th chapter, that small horn is America, man. The small horn in Daniel, the 8th chapter, is Antiochus Epiphanes in the Greek captivity. The small horn in Daniel, the 7th chapter, is America. You know? And America stems out of Britain. You know? This is Rome 2.0. This is the mystery. You know? Babylon the Great, right? This is Confusion the Great. When you go look at the etymology for the word Babylon, it's going to say confusion, right? And I'll do it while we're on the phone right now. Let's get that word, Babylon.
Strong's G 897. Babylon.
Babylon means confusion. That's what it means. It means confusion, right? And that's what this place is. A place of confusion. That's the mystery of it, right? So Lord willing, you was edified, you know, talking to the hopeful elect. Again, Revelations 19:10. And it reads, and I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see, thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. Worship God, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. This is a prophecy that is going to be fulfilled. This is a prophecy that's going to be fulfilled. You know? Oh, what about Revelations 8:4? That's talking about spiritually come out of her. You got people teaching you, oh, we're going to come out of here just like Noah. In some case of the deliverance, yes. But walking out of here, how did Moses and them get out? They walked out of Egypt. No, we're getting a strange salvation. Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, verse 1 and 2. We're going to have a strange salvation. We're going to get taken out by the ships of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which is the UFOs that the world on this side calls. but they're chariots. There's the Most High's vehicles. You know, that's the strange. That's a strange salvation. You know, so you should want to desire this, man. You should want to desire to hear it. Because it's a lot going on outside. There's a lot going on in America and all over the world. And it's shown right in our face that America is literally on its last leg. So again, Lord willing, this is edifying to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, you can continue to endure and be sincere. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to the one true power, Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. Lord willing, that they continue to be sincere and endure. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching this word and believing this word. Lord willing, the same Spirit, that they endure and be sincere. And shalom to the Akwatiyum that are believers of the faith. Lord willing, you can continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And with that, shalom and shalom.